Alright, yo, what's going on, guys? I'm gonna be trying to talk about quite a few things, or some tips, I guess, to help you win more games or increase that winning percentage. These things seem to be working for me. I think I currently have like a 40% win rate in Season 4, which is pretty good, if I do say so. This might be over a few games. I'm just gonna randomly do some stuff while I'm playing and, you know, hopefully lay some simple things out that will help you guys in your own games. I mean, obviously the first thing you can think of is like, actually no, let me start with saying that most of these things are only going towards the players that have a basic grasp of the game. So like, you know how to build, you know when to build, you don't just like sit out in the open and, you know, pretty much, I guess, like, not for the noobs, I guess, to just put it simply. So obviously the first thing is like, just pick a comfortable landing spot for you. I mean, don't go tilted towers every game. If you're not like, there's no point in going tilted towers all the time. If you want to win, like, I guess if you're going for kills and stuff, then sure, and you want to maybe get better in some things, then go tilted. But to win games, you definitely don't want to always be landing there. Like, Greasy is a fun place for me. There's usually not too many people that come here. You might get that odd lobby where it's kind of flooded, but in most cases it's not too bad. I guess actually too. Okay, so I'll start off with the first thing. Hold on. Where did that shot just go? Like, what? Anyways, so tip number 1. Since Fortnite or Epic decided to nerf the mats that you get, I don't know why, it's like the stupidest thing they could have done. You need to just make sure you have mats. Like, the biggest thing at the beginning of the game is just farm, because at least for me, like, not having mats is, like, that always kills me pretty much. It's impossible to win in build fights, obviously, if you can't build, or if someone's shooting at you and you can't block a shot, anything like that. It's like, that's something that you can control. And okay, so watching this over, what I mean by mats, because somebody's probably going to say, oh, of course you need mats to build. No, what I'm saying is you want to farm to get like a comfortable number to start yourself off in the game, because when you're building randomly to get up mountains, to get to chests, like, you chew through mats and you don't even notice it. You want to have, like, I would say a comfortable number is like 500 to 600 wood or so, because when you get into your first fight with somebody, you might use 200 to 300, and then they only have about 100 wood when you kill them. So, like, you just want to start yourself off as best as you can. Obviously, you don't want to spend the whole game farming, so get to 500 or 600, and then you should be good to go. Alright. Anyways. I don't really know what's going on. I don't even know why there's people up there. Anyways, yeah, so mats is like a huge thing. Another big thing as well. Okay, so if you see somebody in a 1x1, or even let's say you're engaging in a fight with somebody, don't sit there and spam your AR at all they're building. Like, if they're weak and you're trying to like break something, maybe pull out a sniper real quick, or, you know, shoot a wall down, pull out a sniper, take a shot, or if you know they're weak and maybe you can slip in like one shot and then make a push, but don't like it's so bad that I always see this when players do it, even when, like, not when I'm only facing them, but, you know, when I see a fight happening. If you just sit there and you're just standing, like, let's say in a little 1x1, and you're just sitting there like spamming your AR. I don't have a lot of ammo, so I don't want to waste all my ammo right now, but if you're just spamming your AR, usually these What was that? Somebody's over there. I don't know why I just heard that sound. This kid's literally across the map. Like what? Anyways, but if you're just standing there spamming your AR, like you're gonna get sniped. It's a waste of ammo. Like it's usually just doesn't turn out, especially if the player knows how to build. Like you're literally just sitting there just wasting shots at somebody. Another player is gonna shoot at you. It usually also means you're playing too passive in the sense of not pushing them. And the more you sit in one spot, the more time that another player has to come and hear those gunshots and build up on you, right? Like there's so many different reasons why you should never just AR spam. And then again, that kind of falls into that is don't stand still like when you're doing it. Like unless you're aiming at somebody and you're taking quick shots, that's fine. But like usually what I do is if I see like building, like that's really far away, but just for an example, like if you see building, if you want to break it, like, you can jump and shoot, like, and you're still gonna hit most of your shots on that, and it's gonna be way harder for them to pick shots on you or snipe you. Like it still breaks the building. You might even land a couple shots on the guy with the hip fires, like I don't know what this guy was doing. Again, like I don't know if he didn't have mats, but all you had to do right there was build. Anyways, so yeah, don't stand still. Don't stand still, and you know, jump if you have to, and also don't spam for too long, because like I said, you play more passive, that means another player is going to come up on you, and it's just like me, like when I hear gunshots in a fight like that, I'm pushing towards that direction right away because I want to get more kills, right? I want to get in fights. So when I hear like AR shots just constantly, like it's going to give me more time to push that person. You don't want to ever sit too still in a box or anything like that. Now, in a different situation, if it's end game, and let's say you're sitting in a box, right? And you don't need to move around. You don't need to push a player. That's fine. If there's like 4 or 5 guys left, and you want to play it safe, that's okay. So instead of just sitting up here, like peeking people like this, like you're exposing yourself from every other angle, right? So what you're gonna want to do is put these 3 walls up, put a roof up in case somebody wants a launch pad on you. If you have a trap, throw a trap down inside the base. That's also a big counter for people that are rushing you. And here you go. Now it's easier to peek this person, you know, peek shot if you want. I just shot my brick twice because I suck. But peek shot if you want. It's a clear look at all these people, at whoever's in front of you rather, and you're not gonna get sniped from the side or the back, right? So it's a lot easier for you to live in those situations. It just kind of like reduces like the possibilities that you can die. That's pretty much the point of this video, is kind of like to give you less ways to die rather, and more chances of winning in your games, right? Oh yeah, okay, a big thing too. So as you can even see what I'm doing right now, I just looked on my phone for just to see what I had written down, but right now a big thing, like float around the edge of the circle. So like if you're moving around here, I'm kind of walking into it right now, but if you're moving around here, you're more likely to get into actual just one-on-one fights only, and there's less chances of you getting pushed multiple players. If you're in the middle here and you're fighting somebody, like players are going to come at you from pretty much like everywhere, right? And it's like there's just more of a chance of you being seen as well in the middle and getting into a fight. Let's say you're low health or something like that and you don't want to get into a fight. Like you don't want to be in the center of the circle. Floating around the edge, at least for me, I think works best in terms of like surviving until the end. I mean, you can hide if you want, but like I said, this is kind of for players that have a general understanding of how to play the game and know how to build. Like you're more likely to get into like actual just one-on-one fights with no interruption when you're moving around the edge, or even like you don't have to run in circles, because obviously that kind of starts being a rotation and you might catch players coming in and out of the storm. But again, those guys either A, aren't going to be expecting you, B, they might be weak from the storm or one of their own fights, or C, you can just build up on the edge and just wait for them to come in, and you have the storm pushing them into you, so you have the advantage right away, right? So like it's way easier for you to win that fight if if you're just waiting for them to come to you, because I mean they have like all the pressure's on them. You don't need to move, and like that's when you can kind of spam AR their building and whatnot if you want, or try to get some shots on them. But again, this is when you're going to want to have 3 walls around you, so players can't come from behind you in the circle, and all your focus is on the guy in front of you coming out of the storm. Now, a big thing too, this kind of... Did I just hear somebody? I did. What? Why am I even fighting in the storm right now? Yeah. And so a big tip as well, like for this, kind of that you can keep track at the beginning of the game is right now, put a marker as where the bus is going, or where the bus came from. So this way you'll kind of get an idea, like players have jumped retail or salty. I'm gonna go tilted, but players have gone retail or salty or fatal, you know, like, because most players jump earlier than late. So like this will give you an idea of like where to move throughout the map. It'll remind you when circles are closing in, like where most players could be coming from. Like, see if we can already. No, I can't even see. But like, I don't see a lot of players landing right now, and this is a pretty late jump, I guess. So like, that kind of only can say that most players might have jumped early this game, right? There's like 6 people going tilted, maybe, which is like nothing. So when you keep track of that, like the smaller circles will show you where to go, pretty much, and not necessarily where to go, but where the other players will be heading. Okay, so just to elaborate a little bit more on why it's marking your bus route is a really good thing. So as I said, most players typically jump early, and as you can see from when I landed tilted, that there weren't a lot of players that were going with me, and that was somewhat of a late jump, so you can kind of get an idea that most players in that game did jump early, which means that, you know, depending on where it is, in that game's case, it was, I think the major places were retail and salty and fatal or so. That kind of gives you a better idea of where these players are landing, and that means where they're going to rotate to after they've looted up, if they've survived, you know, where they're going to be heading next, and this kind of helps you dictate where you should be going, whether or not you want to get in fights, if you're low on health, if you need mats, whatever the case may be. It really can help you not run into multiple people, and like obviously I think that's a huge problem in solos too, is people die because they're in one fight and then all of a sudden more players start shooting at you. Obviously it's way more difficult to win in those situations, so when you keep track of where the bus came from, it helps you keep track of where players are going and where players might be. So anyways, I hope these tips help you guys as much as they help me. I'm gonna make a video on you know, how to survive an end game, because these tips are actually more so to get you to end game. And yeah, I'm just gonna play with this end of the game that I had here as a little bit of a clutch versus a team and a half or so. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out.